Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Also, we're going to be launching an exclusive Dreamers Pro community in less than 2 weeks. If you guys want early access to receive a one-time offer, only available to people on the waiting list, please make sure you go ahead and do that. We have that pinned in the comments below. We got about 500 signups right now, so if you want to be a part of that, please check that out in the description in the comments below. Anyway, let's get into today's topic. Okay. Yesterday, some news came out surrounding Malika Andrews, an interview that she did, or a sit-down that she did, I believe, with DeMar DeRozan. And the topic was broached about her perceived disdain for black men and black athletes in particular. And she finally broke her silence and decided to respond to what the critics have been saying about her. Now, look, Malika Andrews has a history, okay? She has a history that has been documented of her being rude to men, trying to disgrace them on live TV, covering black athletes in particular whenever they screw up, and then all of a sudden going silent on players like Josh Giddey. This is her history. Okay, she turned me off during that back and forth for her and Stephen A. Smith on ESPN a few years ago, where she essentially tried to go on his show and scold him and basically dictate the terms of the show and what will be discussed and what won't be discussed. Number one. Number two, without any evidence, she already came to the conclusion that Ime Udoka was this bad person. She didn't even want to hear them talk about the woman that he had a complicit relationship with. She didn't want to hear any of that. Then you had, I believe, the Brandon Miller situation. You had Joe Mazzulla. You had that one. You had the way she spoke to her colleague Kendrick Perkins on TV. You had all of these different instances and moments. But now all of a sudden, Malika Andrews wants to tell us that no, it's unfair. Right? We're looking at it the wrong way, and it's not what we really think it is. So what happened? This morning I was going through the internet and I came across an article from awfulannouncing.com, and it says Malika Andrews on criticism over coverage of black NBA stars. And then it says it's just untrue and it's just unkind. So this is the article that we want to get into today. But before we even get into what this article had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, GameTime. With the year almost over, I am super excited about creating memories with family and friends by attending various plays, theater shows, and sporting events. And when it comes time to look for tickets, GameTime is my go-to. GameTime is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. GameTime saves me money, time, and stress. It finds the best deals and guarantees that the tickets are legit, and it makes sure that the tickets are delivered to me on time. GameTime Picks is my favorite tool. It cuts through the fluff and shows you the best deals on great seats near you so you don't waste time searching. For example, I'm really looking forward to this game coming up between the Grizzlies and the Lakers. Here's what I like to do. First, I select an all-in price to see the total ticket price up front, so I'm not surprised by the additional fees at checkout. Next, I click on GameTime Picks to check out their curated deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let's get into what this article said. It continues on. Even by standards of the league driven by internet nonsense, the narratives amongst NBA fans online regarding ESPN studio host Malika Andrews have gotten out of hand, starting with an on-air argument with Stephen A. Smith on First Take regarding the dismissal of Ime Udoka's Boston Celtics head coach in 2022 for extramarital affair with a female team staffer. Controversy has followed Andrews' through her coverage of nearly every major off-court scandal in the NBA since then, whether it was Andrews' focus on the 2023 number 2 NBA draft pick Brandon Miller's involvement in the shooting, or that she apparently did not focus enough on alleged sexual indiscretion of Chicago Bulls forward Josh Giddey last season, Andrews has found it hard to please hoop fans. The end result, reinforced by random parties like former Dallas Cowboy receiver Des Bryant, is a perception that Andrews is biased in her coverage of black players and their off-court issues. The host of NBA Today and NBA Countdown addressed those accusations in a recent episode of Dinner with DeMar, a mental health YouTube show hosted by outspoken advocate and NBA All-Star DeMar DeRozan. That's been the hardest thing for me sometimes, is stomaching the falsehoods, particularly the idea of you hate black men. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. And using my family or the way my family looks as some sort of evidence of that, Andrews explains, and it's just untrue and it's just unkind. We all have jobs to do, and I try to do my best to show up every day that know what I'm about. Andrews comes from a mixed race family and recently married white ESPN reporter Dave McMenamin. The most hateful and parasocial viewers in Andrews' online mentions likely use the racial background of her family to make their case about the bias they allege. And then it continues on. While revolted by that mentality, Andrews didn't shield herself from accountability. That doesn't mean that I've covered every story perfectly. It doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, Andrews told DeRozan. But I think I'm pretty good at saying to you guys, I could have been better. And that's, I hope we can keep as social media continues to be bigger in the world, that kindness and that humanity that I worry sometimes we are losing. And I try very hard to make it so that things that I've experienced, I try to keep that in mind when I'm talking about players. I try to have that empathy and understand that I have a job to do, but also understand that I'm not here to play gotcha, Andrews said. I say this, that oftentimes, especially before I'm talking to folks about things that are sensitive or tough, because these things come up and it's hurtful. And I think that it's okay to say sometimes, particularly for me, when it's not true. Okay, so that's what she had to say. There. What are my thoughts on this? I'm not buying any of this. I'm not buying any of this. None of this whatsoever. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying any of this. I'm not, oh, I feel sorry for her, or it's sad, or it's untrue, how cruel the world has become. I'm not buying any of this. The reason why I'm not buying it is because I saw the moments. All right? I saw the moments. Okay? Malika Andrews comes off to me, at the very least, as a sexist. That's how she comes off to me. She comes off to me as a person that views men as all bad and women as all good. And I have examples of this. The one example was the Ime Udoka incident that took place on ESPN, where Stephen A. Smith tried to mention about the other party involved. And she said, we're not here to blame women. Who said we're blaming women? And more importantly, can't we just turn around and say we're not here to blame men? I'm confused. You think it's okay to talk about the guy because that's business as usual at ESPN. To take a crap on men and black guy, that's ESPN for you. Okay, that's the environment that they've created. But the minute Stephen A. Smith tried to bring it up, you try to shut him down. When Kendrick Perkins tried to bring up the other host, you shut him down as well. So you're not fair and balanced. You are for women, number one. Number two, you have a history of chronicling every negative thing that happens with black male athletes, period. This is not what I'm making up. This is not my emotion. This is the evidence that we have in front of us. But when the Josh Giddey situation occurred, we couldn't find you. We couldn't find you. All of the investigative journalism went out the window. Even with the situation when Joe Mazzulla was being hired. You then decided to bring up an incident that took place when he was in college. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? You decided that was pertinent information for the audience. So you're the one doing this digging. You could have said a bunch of things about Joe Mazzulla, but you chose to highlight that. The same way you chose to highlight the negative aspect of Brandon Miller. This is you. And another one that I don't vibe with is Sage Steele. I don't vibe with her. I remember what she said about the Barack Obama, the black fathers and all of that. I was offended by that. I was offended by it. So I don't vibe with the Malika Andrews and the stage. I don't vibe with that. She has a history of it. I'm not buying this. Talking about, oh, the internet is a place where people say mean things and all. It's like, have you not seen yourself on the internet before? You're talking, Malika Andrews is acting like as if she's some victim here. Like, who are we kidding? Who told you to go as hard as you did on these athletes? What gave you the impetus to go on Stephen A. Smith's show and try to show him up like that? What gave you that confidence? The reason you have that confidence is because you, as a woman, in your mind, feel like you can talk to a man any kind of way. Any kind of way. Even if it's a guy that's almost twice your age and is the face of the network. That said a lot about your character, I'm sorry to say, or I'm not. So I'm not buying any of this. I'm not buying any of it. You can go tell it to the birds. You can go sing this to the birds because they'll be interested in hearing this song. I ain't interested in hearing it. I ain't buying it. You've had too many instances where you just went off the rails with it. And I ain't buying it. Y'all can buy into it. Y'all can feel sorry for her. I don't. Somebody say, oh, well, ESPN is forcing her. ESPN ain't forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. ESPN is saying, do this. You don't have to do it. Did ESPN say go as hard as you did on Ime Udoka on Stephen A. Smith's show and call him? ESPN said call up Stephen A. Smith on his show and try to start reprimanding him on live TV. ESPN told you to do that. No, you felt comfortable within yourself because you're sexist, in my view, to feel like you can talk to a guy any kind of way. You shut off Kendrick Perkins when he tried to bring up the other person. ESPN forced Jalen Rose to issue a public apology for daring to say, but what about the other party involved? That's the network you work for. So ESPN is complicit in this. And by the way, we're going to be launching an exclusive Dreamers Pro community very, very soon. And if you want to be a part of it to ensure that you receive a one-time offer, please make sure you join the waiting list. We have over 300 people signed up already. So if you want to receive that one-time offer, only the people on the waiting list, please make sure you go ahead and do so. It looks like the Milwaukee Bucks just won the NBA Cup. Now, I didn't watch the game, but when I woke up this morning, I saw that they won the NBA Cup against the Oklahoma City Thunder in a convincing fashion. They beat them 97 to 81. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is named the MVP of the tournament, right? Which means that Darvin Ham has gone undefeated in NBA Cup. And it looks like he has 2 NBA Cup championships in his coffers, right? Now, why is this hilarious? The reason this is hilarious is last year when he was the head coach for the Lakers, oh, they were up there twerking it up. Oh, we're going to celebrate, we're going to celebrate, we're going to celebrate. They were popping bottles, doing all kind of stuff, right? Then when they fired him and they moved on, some of these, I don't know if they're LeBron fans, whoever they are, started saying, oh, Darvin Ham ain't nothing. And for the first time in my history, I started seeing NBA fans talking about what is Darvin Ham doing on the Bucks when the Bucks got off to that slow start. And I'm like, since when do we start criticizing assistant head coaches, coaches? I had never seen that before. Never. But that's how deep the hate ran. Because they needed to say that Darvin Ham was terrible to justify the hire of JJ Redick and also justify the disappointment of last season. That's what they needed to do. But when he was up there winning the championship with them that end season, they were all up there celebrating, popping bottles, hollering and screaming. And speaking about popping bottles, something interesting happened not too long ago that I came across, a social media post from Bleacher Report that was published a few hours ago. And it had the following headline, and I want to show it to you guys, the image of it. It said, Darvin Ham advised Bucks to not pop champagne after NBA Cup. So let me read what Chris Haynes had to say on the on the thumbnail. It says, Bucks coach Doc Rivers told me after talking with Darvin Ham and his experience with the Lakers last season, they chose not to celebrate the Cup championship with dousing and drinking of champagne. We want to focus on the remainder of the season. So that's what Darvin Ham said. What is my reaction to this? I definitely think it's a shot at the Lakers. because that's what they did. The way the Lakers celebrated the NBA Cup, you would have thought they won the NBA championship. Like, you would have thought that they won the NBA championship. Hell, some LeBron fans, and I remember reading the comments. I remember reading it. LeBron James is a 5-time NBA champion and a 5-time Finals MVP. LeBron fans did that. I remember reading those comments. They were trying to count the NBA Cup as an NBA championship and saying that his MVP was his 5th MVP. So if it was a championship and it was an MVP, why did they fire Darvin Ham? I thought you guys won the championship. So why did Darvin Ham get fired? This, of course, was a shot at LeBron and his former team. Of course it was. And I think it was quite powerful what the Bucks did versus what the Lakers did. Because the Bucks showed you that they are serious about trying to win a championship. The Lakers last year showed you that they're willing to debase themselves and go to any level for entertainment's sake, just to go out there and basically twerk it up all over the place to show y'all that we did something when in reality we didn't do nothing. The Lakers celebrating that award last year was an embarrassment. The fact that they even decided to hang a championship banner was an even bigger embarrassment. That right there shows you just how low the Lakers have fallen. And for Jeanie Buss to be at the helm of that organization, and for you to sign off on the Lakers hanging an NBA Cup banner in the rafters alongside your real NBA championships really shows you what Jeanie Buss is doing over there with the Lakers. People keep talking about the roster and Rob Pelinka and all of that. People need to start pointing fingers at management and Jeanie Buss. Y'all really need to start looking in her direction as well. It's not just on Rob Pelinka. It's not just on the players. It's also on the leadership at the Lakers, which seems to be absolutely non-existent. This is absolutely a shot at the Lakers because now they look like a clown show for celebrating last season. They look like a clown show for celebrating. A total clown show. And I believe that one of the reasons the Lakers played so well last year was because of the financial incentive. I believe that played a role. I believe because of the financial incentive, they kicked it into a higher gear. Hell, even LeBron said, hey, man, it's $500,000. I want to win. And I understand that. Just because you got a billion, whatever it is, 500 grand is still 500 grand. I agree with LeBron James on that. I am not faulting him for that, for that opinion. What I'm saying is, however, money, I believe, was a major driving factor for them. And then when they won it, they can now try to turn it into something. They were actually think about it. They had a ceremony night for it. A ceremony night. The Bucks won it, and they're like, you know what, we out of here. We're not popping no bottles. We're not doing none of that. And I'm sure the NBA wasn't happy about that as well. Because Adam Silver is really trying to promote this thing and really market the league and push it forward. So to have his players just not even decide to partake in the foolishness and the tomfoolery, he must have felt the type of way because them not doing that I can't even say the damn word. I can't even say the word. Makes it seem less legitimate. This entire tournament. And they're trying to legitimize it. They're trying to legitimize this tournament. So to me, man, shout out to Darvin Ham for putting his goon down on the Lakers, for taking a shot at them because they deserve it. They deserve it because they was doing it to you early this season. Oh, what is Darvin Ham doing over there with Milwaukee? They were actually criticizing an assistant coach. Yes. That's how low they went. And by the way, we're going to be launching an exclusive Dreamers Pro community very, very soon. And if you want to be a part of it to ensure that you receive a one-time offer, please make sure you join the waiting list. We have over 300 people signed up already. So if you want to receive that one-time offer, only the people on the waiting list, please make sure you go ahead and do so. Gilbert Arenas has made it his business now to tear down Kobe's legacy. He's actually making it his business. And the irony in all of this is that Gil says that he's a Kobe Bryant fan. Gil is the only Kobe Bryant fan that I've ever seen that spends more time telling you why Kobe is not great than he does telling you why Kobe is great. He's the only Kobe Bryant fan I've seen do this. The only one. And whenever he's talking about Kobe, he's always talking about him in the terms of how he's behind LeBron and Michael Jordan, but especially LeBron James, especially him, to the point where his panel, just about, a week or so ago, with Brandon Jennings and Nick Young, had to call him out. They had to check him like, yo, you up here saying nonsense. And we did a show responding to that. Now, one would have thought that Gil would have stopped. He would have been like, enough is enough. But no. Gil decided, you know what? It's time for me to double down on it. Like what I just did, no. We're going to double down on it. So he decided yesterday to troll Kobe, right? And I was just having my dinner, and I opened up my computer, and I saw in Gil's Arena, there they were, talking about Kobe, the game Gilbert Arenas scored 60 on Kobe. And what we want to do is we want to put up the picture, because I screenshot it from my phone, and I want you guys to read the caption under the video from Gil's Arena, so it doesn't look like I'm making it up. Take a look at this. If you guys are looking at it right now, you can see it, that he said Gil celebrates his 60 on Kobe. All right? That's what the image says. But Gil will tell you, oh, no, I'm just talking about my career high. The reason that 60 point is noteworthy is because of who he did it against. Let's not act like Kobe Bryant ain't Kobe Bryant. So what happened? This morning, so what happened? Later on in the show, they started to get into this back and forth debate, and then he started hating on Kobe again. So I said, you know what? I'm going to respond to this. And I told him I'm going to respond, so I'm not here gossiping him. I told him this. I said, let me respond to Gil. Because on his show, he's over there trying to use media members to basically explain why he believes LeBron should be ranked ahead of Kobe. But before we get into what he said, we want to play you a little of what Gil said, all right, about a month or two ago about how him and NBA players view the opinions of media members. Take a listen to Gilbert Arenas talking about people in the media. Take a listen to that there.
What's so funny is, I'm glad you said it. And when you say invalid, it's the correct word, invalid. Only sports is where you cannot have been a professional of it and you get to judge someone's work, right? Hall of Fames and all of, like, every athlete, 100% of athletes are still wondering, how did you make a 75 list without Dwight Howard? It still boggles every single player who's ever played this game. Like, wait, his resume, what the talking about, right? If we had to put this he's going to be top 25. So how is he not 75, right? And we've been on planes, right? Right? Yeah. The most important person is who? The pilot, right? Second most important.
Co-pilot?
No, besides them, the pilots. Second most important.
Flight attendant?
Flight attendants, great. And then,
stewardesses?
And then next is the customers, right? Which one is the NBA player? The pilot, right? The pilot is the one that's out there practicing, looking at game plans. We are the one playing. The stewardess is the analyst, right? The analyst reports everything to the passengers, right? The only problem with that is we're in the same cabin. The stewardess and the passengers are in the same cabin. You're watching the same view, right? When turbulence hits and they get on there, hey, just calm down, everybody put your seatbelt. Know that. I know. I know. I can see. Motherfucker, the turbulence, I'm moving. The ding ding came on. I can see that from right here. You have no different view than me, right? The customer, the analysts, and the fans got the same view. We are the people in the cockpit, right? There's a door. Shoot.
Can't get in.
Right? Shoot. Like the only thing the analysts get to do is knock on the door. Doo, doo, doo. Hey, so what's going on back there? And then I tell you what to tell them, right? Now imagine as a pilot being judged by the stewardess on how we landed. You out your rabbit-ass mind to tell me because there was so much turbulence and you felt uncomfortable. You know what I went through up here.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas said. That's what he had to say about the media. So now we want to play what he had to say about Kobe. So what I want to do is I want to play that audio for you now. I want you guys to listen to every second of it because I'm going to respond to all of those points he said. Take a listen to that there, and then we'll come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to that there.
People think debating is like a real thing.
They want to talk about your 24 or something?
No. They just think like debating's a real thing.
Like you just sit around the house like, damn, I want to debate somebody.
No, just debate. Like, who's better, this person? It's called opinion at that point, right? Like, what we do for the most part is opinion. Your opinion kicks in when you don't like the facts, right? So if the professional analysts who get paid to give us a top 10 list, right? So if they say Michael Jordan, LeBron, Qerim, this and this, right? That's their professional, they put all the data in the computer and put it in, right? If you don't like the list, your opinion kicks in. Your opinion is kicking in and say, Kobe's 2, LeBron's 5. That's your opinion at this point.
Okay.
Right? The professionals gave us a list, like in football. The professionals who analyze the game, they gave you a list. If your brain doesn't like the list, it's your opinion that's kicking in. So us debating about whose opinion is better, it don't matter because it's the list that finalizes the answer.
But who says that list is like? Yeah, but who says that list is accurate? Like just because he put that list together, he
they got paid. What I'm saying is
just because he get paid, that don't mean
when the analyst list, when it says ESPN, it's a bunch of just like anything, it's a bunch of writers and sports writers. Okay. They put all the data that exists, not just the data we want to use. Okay. Right? When we just want to say 6 finals and all, no, they use from day one to day end, put all the data in the machine. Like we're jaded. We're going to only use what makes our guy look good.
Well, how can Jordan be number one then if his stats don't add up to everybody else's?
Yeah. They put in what? Stats, competition they played against, dominance, like everything, Years played. So all of it goes in. So the fact that he's still number one just lets us know how dominant he was amongst everybody else.
So why Qerim can't be one?
I know. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I think that's more opinionated too, though.
Yeah. I think throughout the entirety of basketball career, you got to put Qerim.
Yeah,
that's what I said. But that's what I'm saying. We don't know exactly.
Who gives
no matter what
ESPN the end all, say all?
Because they have all the computers in the machines. That's what they get paid for.
They got the money.
Right
just like a judge, right?
They have a computer
right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Very, very high tech.
Just like a judge, you have a prosecutor, you have the defense. They're arguing. Everybody sounds right, and then you have the jury that says otherwise.
A jury of your peers.
I don't think.
So what if we want to make our own list of top?
Oh, I think we have.
But we can make our own list of top 10, but it's not going to be official. All the other stuff is official.
We can look into.
Why not?
I know. Why not?
Why not? We have all the information. We are.
I want to see how.
We're in the media.
Tell them to show us how they break it down. We're gonna break it down just like.
Because we played. So how can you like?
How can somebody that
I don't know how many people's on.
How can somebody that didn't play know the competition was better?
Because some of those are ex-players and stuff too, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
When there's a debate, there's a winner, right? There's something that's higher up that says you won, you lost.
So like the presidents.
Yeah. They're sitting there debating, right? We're going back, he won this one, he won that one. We don't know who the real winner is until the election is over. Damn, he won. So everybody who was saying, Kamala, y'all lost, y'all were wrong.
Okay.
Right? That's how it ends. With ours, we don't want to respect the ESPN's list. That's why we fight it so much.
No,
that's fair.
Right? LeBron say he's number one. The Jordan fans say he's number one. The Kobe fans say he's number one.
No, they got Kobe at number 9.
That's the ESPN list. Your opinion don't like that, so you got him where?
Kobe at 9.
Watch this.
Kobe at 9 is
what I'm saying.
Blasphemy.
That's their list. Now, our opinion said that's blasphemy. We're going to put him somewhere else.
No.
And we're going to debate.
But you can't say theirs is just right, though. I don't get how you could just say theirs is just right. I can't.
Yeah, why just them?
They can't just be right. I don't care.
No,
you can't tell me with all the accolades and what Kobe did, even with any type of facts, he's going to be at 9. You got
accolades. You got the ESPN. You're gonna have whatever, all these sites, they're all putting stuff into a machine. Like it has to.
Well,
like when I
what
said,
about
Because he
what
crossed
if the
every
TNT
T.
guys?
Huh?
Kobe crossed every T. Competition, points, championships, time he came in at 18, the earliness of when he won it, records.
I said something that irritated of Kobe fans, even though I'm a Kobe fan, right? I said something that irritated, but that is a metrics. When I said 3 of his championships, he was a sidekick. And everybody's like, oh, he was never a sidekick. He was only 21, 22, and 23. Those championships. Shaq was the dominant force. So those 3 championships that he got, he wasn't the lead dog yet.
But who's taking all the big shots?
It don't matter. That you're talking about a shot.
No, but
we're talking about
stats too.
We're
though.
talking.
The stats are there too.
The stats are there. If you average 2 more points than me,
he's not.
It's like you averaging 10. The drop is not that far off.
But Shaq's not winning the rings without Kobe.
What year you want though? There's 3. Like
every year
what I'm saying is like Scottie Pippen was Scottie Pippen. No, if he scored 28 points and Jordan scored 30, we still know who's number 1 and number 2. We still know who's doing the heavy lifting.
Because when Jordan left, they won the same amount.
You don't want to accept it.
Because when Jordan left, they won the same amount of wins.
It don't matter. We know who Robin is in this instance. Right? So his 5 rings is still Robin rings.
That's the opinion.
But I know that's the opinion. Yeah, I'm about to say, that's
your opinion to know who Robin is.
Right, that's not
because you like him more, he look better doing shit. That's your opinion.
But not to us.
But he didn't win until Pippen came there.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say. Gil is there making arguments against himself. He went from talking about turbulence on a plane as an analogy and then turned around and said, you know, the media people, they're the ones crunching the numbers. I thought you just said their opinions don't matter. I thought you just said they don't know what they're looking at. But then you then used their opinions to say why Kobe isn't as great as he is. When they brought up the thing about they have him number 9, he was like, well, that's what the numbers, what numbers are they crunching? I thought you said that they don't know what they're talking about. NBA players do. But then you're turning around to say that, no, they're right because they're crunching the numbers, so why should we listen to anything that you're saying then? You just disqualified yourself from talking because you're saying the people in the media have the final say. Or what is it that you're saying? What is actually being said here? Here's my issue with what Gil is doing, and I told him this. You're talking about a guy that is not here to defend himself. You're talking about a guy that is not here to defend himself. And on top of that, you're then saying that this guy is your favorite player. I don't believe you, Gilbert. Kobe fans, us real Kobe fans, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. This is not the behavior of a Kobe fan. And every time I hear you talking about Kobe, it's always in relation to LeBron and why LeBron is better than him. You're not a Kobe fan. Do you know why? Because Kobe fans don't believe LeBron is better than Kobe. So I know you're not a Kobe fan. No Kobe fan believes that. So how are you a Kobe fan? How are you a real Kobe fan? We've had arguments back and forth. Who's the better offensive player, Gil? Kobe or LeBron? Kobe. Who's the better defensive player? Kobe or LeBron? Kobe. Who's the more clutch? Kobe or LeBron? Kobe. Gil, who's the better? LeBron. Why do you say so? Look at the stats and look at what ESPN said. But I thought you said you don't look at stats. All of this seems like you're just here to promote the LeBron James agenda. But you're trying to cover yourself in it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. You're really for LeBron, but you're trying to guise yourself and cloak yourself as, oh, no, I'm a Kobe guy. No, you're not. Nobody believes this. Nobody believes this. I've never seen you do 25, 30-minute segments of you exposing the deficiencies in LeBron's game or his career. You do that about Kobe all day long. Why don't you do a 30-minute segment on your show today about the game when Carmelo Anthony played LeBron and made him cry in the game? When they were having that duel in Cleveland and LeBron he started crying when they lost. Why don't you do a show like that? And talk about LeBron's if you won't do it so that it exposes the game. You're not a Kobe fan. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And Gil is not my enemy. I don't have anything against him. But I'm not going to sit up here and let you tarnish Kobe's legacy. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and let you do it. And of all the players you want to go at players that are still playing or that are still here that can defend themselves. And the crazy thing is, I never heard this when Kobe was here. This was crazy to me. I never heard you say this when Bryant was walking around. You knew Kobe. Did you ever tell Kobe you're a sidekick? Did you ever tell him that? And why are you spending so much time hyping up a game that you scored 60 against a sidekick? I thought he's just a sidekick. I asked him. I said, if LeBron played with a prime Shaq, would he not have been the sidekick? He said, yeah. Okay, so what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? The same argument that you're using for Kobe could be used against LeBron. So what are we talking about? What's up with all of this Kobe slander, man? Like, what's going on? Who's making you do this? Who sent you to do this? And if you want to say that, oh, no, I'm being fair and balanced, do segments on LeBron when you're breaking down his deficiencies in his career and his game. Then we can say, oh, you know what? Gilbert Arenas is truly being fair, but I don't see it. Us Kobe fans ain't rocking with you. You're not a real Kobe fan. I don't care what you say. I've never heard a Kobe Bryant fan say, oh, for a person that said Kobe Bryant my favorite player of all, oh, LeBron's. I've never heard that except you. I never heard it. And then on one hand, you're saying the media doesn't matter. They don't know what they're talking about, turbulence and all of this. And then they turn around and say, well, the media did it. They put it in the computer. So if the media is right, why are we even watching? Why does your show even exist? Turn it off. Let's listen to the media then. Let's listen to the media. But you yourself have said they don't know what they're talking about, but now they do. Y'all figure it out with Gil, man. I don't know. I'm out. And by the way, we're going to be launching an exclusive Dreamers Pro community very, very soon. And if you want to be a part of it to ensure that you receive a one-time offer, please make sure you join the waiting list. We have over 300 people signed up already. So if you want to receive that one-time offer, only the people on the waiting list, please make sure you go ahead and do so.